Fundamentals of Meditation by Lucian Green Yellow God 2 of 4. 11. I prepared for over-engineering of the bridge. I did this by hitting the ball on the string, representing over-engineering on the stand. First, I picked up the bat. Second, I moved the bat backwards. Third, I hit the ball. In this way, I prepared for over-engineering of the bridge by hitting the ball on the string, representing over-engineering on the stand. 12. I prepared to put through an A with a negatable pressure cup appearance, in other words negatively but in a way that is protected by meditation, placing a medical question on oneself, thinking of a dental drill, the medical question and a conclusion for a child to be conceived, a job to be earned or an H1 to be supported. I did this by holding the dog model, like the pressure cup. First, I picked up the dog model. Second, I held it. Third, I placed it on the ground. In this way, I prepared to put through an A with a negatable pressure cup appearance by holding the dog model, like the pressure cup. 13. I prepared to be big and good by teaching Lucianic meditation. I did this by learning Lucianic meditation. First, I repeated the reasoning's details to God, see Jacqueline Publicity Primary Text Entries 8 and 9. Second, I said the meditation details to a God, see Jacqueline Publicity Primary Text Entry 10 and Abracadabra and Unabridged Abracadabra 2 song meanings. Third, I practiced Lucianic meditation by saying 80 Lucian mantras and 80 green sutras in my head. In this way, I prepared to be big and good by teaching Lucianic meditation by learning Lucianic meditation. 14. I prepared to like Maharishi. I did this by teaching Lucianic meditation. First, I said the reasoning's details in an appearance to Maharishi Lucian, see Jacqueline Publicity Primary Text Entries 8 and 9. Second, I repeated the meditation details to Maharishi Lucian, see Jacqueline Publicity Primary Text Entry 10 and Abracadabra and Unabridged Abracadabra 2 song meanings. Third, I taught the student to meditate by repeating 80 Lucian mantras and 80 green sutras. In this way, I prepared to like Maharishi by teaching Lucianic meditation. 15. I prepared to store the bit on a subatomic particle. I did this by bringing a citrus fruit to the gathering. First, I packed the mandarin. Second, I brought it with me to the gathering. Third, I ate it. In this way, I prepared to store the bit on a subatomic particle by bringing a citrus fruit to the gathering. 16. I prepared to reintroduce my controversial argument for publishing. I did this by editing out the literature review from the PhD, leaving the critique for publishing. First, I selected the literature review. Second, I deleted it. Third, I published the PhD. In this way, I prepared to reintroduce my controversial argument for publishing by editing out the literature review from the PhD, leaving the critique for publishing. 17. I prepared to write an argument for the intelligent pop song for it to be examined. I did this by stating properties of disagreeing, agreeing arguments. First, I wrote in relation to a positive idea. Second, I wrote a single argument. Third, I connected the arguments in a structure. In this way, I prepared to write an argument for the intelligent pop song for it to be examined by stating properties of disagreeing, agreeing arguments. 18. I prepared to write Magna Opera. I did this by sitting and writing. First, I bought a height adjustable chair with no arms to fit under the table and scheduled regular breaks. Second, I sat. Third, I wrote. In this way, I prepared to write Magna Opera by sitting and writing. 19. I prepared to eat healthily. I did this by eating while sitting. First, I ate less food and fewer units of energy. Second, I chewed it more carefully. Third, I tasted my meal. In this way, I prepared to eat healthily by eating while sitting. 20. I prepared to prevent depression. I did this by studying the medicine short course. First, I noticed the person was depressed, hadn't studied medicine. Second, I suggested that the person pay me $50 to put through the medicine as on my system to prevent depression. Third, the person agreed. In this way, I prepared to prevent depression by studying the medicine short course.